Happy that you could find some time to spare and share with us some knowledge about Sri Ramchandra's Raj Yoga. The topic given to me is diary writing. You may be wondering what is there to write in diary. For any activity, there must be a clarity of the purpose by which we take an activity. Whether we meditate, or we read, or we hear, we sing, we play. Similarly, when somebody says you should write diary, the question is why? What is the purpose it is going to achieve? I know I have done those things. What is there to note about? This has been the common vein in which people talk when we talk about diary writing. Some organized people who would like to see their expenditure tallies with their income, and then they plan it that way. They know which are the things that they should cut and which are the things that they can improve. All these things are general way in which a man plans expenditure, and most of the diaries people maintain, if at all they maintain, would relate to this aspect. There's nothing wrong about it. One has to be very careful in his planning so far as the financial things are concerned. Otherwise, you are likely to end up in unfortunate situations where you may be owing somebody something, etc., etc. Which are the expenditures that can be cut? You will be in a position to decide. And where you require some money, you will be in a position to find it. And this is a general play. The habit of writing diaries somehow has not been taken very seriously by many people, even in our daily life. They say, I know what I get, I know what I spend, what is the necessity for maintaining all this. But those who have maintained will be in a position to tell you the enormous advantage they get, and they know where they can cut unnecessary expenditure and they can do. Similarly, when it comes to spirituality, what is our goal? Where are we going? How far? Which are the things that can be cut to improve the quality of spiritual practice that I have got? Which are the things that are standing as hindrances in our sadhana? These are all the factors that you will be in a position to understand and then suitably change your practices. Say, for example, a person has taken to sadhana because of a natural inclination. I am not talking about which sadhana, any sadhana for that matter. There are certain things which are conducive for it. There are certain things which are conducive for it. You will be in a better position to do by adopting certain things. There are certain things which are to be discarded. We don't want it. In order to achieve this goal, they are positive hindrances. So we should get rid of it. But which are the things that are standing against you, which are the things that are standing for you, is not a matter of philosophy. It's a matter of your own practice. Say you get up early in the morning, okay, you are able to get up. If you make a mention of it, saying that I am able to get up at that, I got up at such and such time and meditated, I did this japa, I did this sadhana, whatever it is. Regularity or non-regularity of that will be seen by you over a period of time. You can definitely say that whether you are regular or not. If you are not regular, you will then come to this conclusion, there is something wrong somewhere. Maybe it is due to you are watching a TV late in the night, or going for a drama, going for a cinema, going for a club, something like that, which stands in the way. Or you might have read more. Previous night you are not able to get up next morning early. You will then be in a position to organize your timings. So far as the practical aspect of your sadhana is concerned, this is one of the most important things. Now, let me say, for example, you start just now, Brother Subbara was talking to you, say that meditate on the divine light in the heart. Do not bother about the various thoughts that come to you. Do not also bother about the physical discomforts that you may have, but continue with your task of meditating on the divine light, ignoring the various thoughts that come to you. Easily said than done. Because what are the thoughts that come to you would be one of the first considerations we should have. Normally, we get thoughts which are very, very routine, day to day. Maybe you are to go to the school and you feel that you are not prepared yourself well, so let me complete this meditation so that I can go back to that. That is tasks which are ahead. Things that you have done the previous day will also be there in your mind. I could have done that better. I should improve on that. I perhaps seem to have committed a mistake in such and such thing. Let me rectify it. The program that I have written in the computer perhaps is wrong. Or the play that I have played, particularly a cricket match in which you were involved, you have played a wrong stroke and you would like to rectify that by going for practice. These are all the various thoughts that come to you. Apart from the problems that you have got regarding, say, examinations, these are all periodical things. An examination that is there, a test is there, a departmental test is there. These things are happening. Every day we are being examined by so many people. So we would like to improve our performance on that. So these thoughts come in the wrong time. When you meditate and then you take up this thought is much better, but then these things come during meditation, not allowing you to do this job. So these are all the various thoughts that come to you. Why do they come to you at all? From where are they coming? They are not coming from elsewhere in the atmosphere. They are coming from within. And you are face to face with those thoughts which are your own most of the time. Some of the unfortunate souls may be having thoughts of others also. This is possible. Maybe because of an extraordinary attachment that they have got to some friend or some other gentleman, the thoughts relating to them may come. More often than not, the thoughts come to you relating to your father, mother, their health, their problems, your sisters, brothers, and their brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws, all sorts of problems which they are having, with which you have nothing to do, still will come. You cannot solve that problem here. Still that will be coming, the thoughts will be coming to you. This is because of lack of orientation we have got to our goal. If our goal clarity is there, these things will not come. So if you record your diary, all these thoughts will be finding a place in your diary. Honestly, during meditation, these are the various thoughts that come to me. Over a period of time, if you see whether these thoughts have got reduced or not, then you can say your sadhana is progressing properly. Otherwise, you should concede the point that your sadhana is not progressing properly. Now, what is the goal with which we are starting? We are saying oneness with the ultimate, oneness with the master. That is a very, very peculiar word that we are using. Because we really do not know what is God. Nobody has seen Him. We have got umpteen number of pictures, statues, portraits. So many things are there available. Each one of them having its own attraction to some people. Some people feel attracted to a Gopala, somebody else feels an attraction to Radha Krishna. The reason for this we do not know. Some people like that, some people like this. Somebody else feels like going for a Balakrishna. All are related to Krishna, but then you have got different types of adjectives attached to it. And each one is choosing it mainly because of his own inclination. Whatever is that is the type of problem that we have got. And that is not the goal you are going to have. Unless that particular thing is so deeply embedded in you that you seek only that. And if your prayer is of a very high order, it is just likely that divinity may also yield to your request and may appear in that form. Do you understand? It is not that there is a form of divinity, but the divinity may yield if your devotion is of a very high order, of an extraordinary type, total commitment to that particular form. If you have got, divinity may, out of its consideration for you, may reveal it. But that is not the form of divinity. Divinity has no clear-cut form. It is formless, nameless. That being so, when we talk about achieving the goal, what are we talking about? So the goal is, to master the word, the real goal of human life. We said that one sentence. That itself, the clarity itself will not emerge immediately. What is the clarity that you have got on that concept? What is the clarity that I will be in a position to impart to you on this concept? Seems to be tough. But if you know the all-pervasive nature of the Master, God, when you meditate, you see that, feel that, then a meaning develops towards that meaning. That particular sentence gains a meaning. Do you catch my point? The goal clarity comes not in the beginning, the goal clarity comes in the end. Only this much of clarity that we require in the beginning is that God is without any form or name. And He is the one who is supporting all of us. He is the one because of whom we are living. This is a basic understanding that we should have. If we have this understanding that it is He that is working through us, then you will understand that whatever you do should be pious, should be righteous, should be correct. It is not as though ethics leads to God. It is God who leads you to ethics. Reality is that. Reality is I should do good and therefore I will be reaching God. No. You know God is there with you and you cannot afford to pollute Him and therefore you do good. The reason why I should do good is Divinity is expressing through me. And when Divinity is expressing through me, I cannot afford to commit mistakes. I cannot commit foul. I cannot behave ungodly. I cannot behave evil. Many people put this question in the modern day: why should anybody do right? What is the reason why we should do good? The reason for that is simple: that we are expressions of the Divinity, and Divinity is purity. On this there is no doubt. Divinity is purity. Nobody says Divinity is impure. The whole human civilization has accepted this concept of purity to go along with God. So we have no business whatsoever to pollute it, and therefore we have got to be living at the level of purity, doing good deeds. Now what is the human level? Brother Subbara was talking about the human life. What is this human life about? This is the reason why our people have stated that you should practice Satya, Ahimsa, Asteya, Aparigraha and Brahmacharya. These are the 5 qualities that you should develop to remain as a human being. If you commit any mistake in any one of these things, you have behaved as something not human. Now, unless you live at the human level, the talk of God makes no sense. First of all, let us be humans. Then we will think about a God. The purity of God, of which we are now 10% sure when we start sadhana, otherwise we don't start sadhana at all. Purity of God is there. You have got to be pure. Now this leads us further to Saucha. You have got to be clean in all respects. Then you will not start talking, why should I not meditate on the bed? Why should I take a bath and then take a meditation? This type of doubts will not arise. But in the beginning you have got accustomed to it. Already some of us are accustomed to take bed coffees, bed teas. This type of peculiar ideas are already there. But once you know your purity, once you know it is God that has expressed through you, then you will not try to do such things. But is such an awareness coming to you at all? And that comes to you through sadhana. As Subbara put it, if you yield to the divine, if you consistently know your low position of being a human and the Master being divine, this humility makes you take it very seriously, your sadhana. And then when you do sadhana, these things get to your head. Now these are all the things that come to you as a viveka. Viveka grants you rigorous discipline of getting up early in the morning, doing the prayer. The ritual aspect of it is one thing. We do it in the beginning as a ritual, not because of any conviction, deep conviction of the divinity that is there in our heart. Not with that, but we suppose there is divinity in our heart. We accept intellectually that position, and then we start practicing. After you practice for some time, the viveka develops. What is real, what is unreal, what is Sat and what is Asat. Sadasat Viveka, as they put it. What is Sat? To remain as pure is Sat. To be present before the divinity in purity is Sat. To present ourselves, anyway we are all sinners, therefore let us be whatever we are, let us stand before God. That is Asat. It's a logic. It's a peculiar intellectual logic which permits you to do all sorts of things. What purity can I have? I am pure, perhaps outwardly, inwardly, how can I be pure? The world is such, therefore what does it matter whether I take a bath or I don't take a bath? All that is important is to think about divinity. Has it not been said by such and such said, all outer things do not make any sense? All this is not proper viveka. It is viparita argument. These are not arguments which are accepted. You come to discriminate between these two, and then your getting up early in the morning becomes no more a ritual but is a commitment towards your sadhana. First is started as a ritual, then it becomes a commitment. Commitment to yourself and commitment to God who is within you. We take a pledge before the divine that we will be pure. Why? Why do we take a pledge like this? Mainly because we become aware of the importance of His being in us, and then we understand certain things. Essentially, we try to understand the transitoriness of existence here and the permanence of divinity that is there. Not well understood by many people. It leads us to a lot of Mayavada. Many people have interpreted it almost like Buddhists also, some Buddhists, not the Buddha himself. Buddhists have interpreted as nihilism. That is, this world is not existing. No, the world exists. It is transient. To call it transient or temporary is different from saying that it does not exist. But this mistake occurred. An intellectual mistake has occurred. And it led to so many other consequences about which I am not going to bother here. What you should understand is that you are only a transitory existence. You are not going to last forever, this physical body. What is going to last is the spirit that is in you, which is divinity itself. That is why the great land of ours says that the Atman and the Brahman are the same. Who is inside is the same thing as outside. That is that the Brahman. The same Brahman is with you, the same Brahman with me. When it is expressed to you, it is your Atma. When it is expressed to me, it is my Atma. But literally there is only one Atma, universal consciousness that persists. Always, it perseveres. It doesn't cease. It ceases only when divinity withdraws. So there is no essential difference between you and your brother, between you and the so-called enemy that you have got. The so-called people who are detracting you from it. There is no difference. Everything is divinity manifesting itself. That is the permanent. This is the transient. This much of knowledge starts. And once this starts, you try to know how best you can improve the quality of your existence so that it is in tune with the divinity, in tune with Brahman. Lalaji Maharaj, the master of my master, said a small thing, very unique sentence which appeals to me as a student of philosophy. People have struggled to express the concepts of Atman and Brahman in so many ways in books of philosophy. They have struggled. Each one made a good effort. But very simple way of explaining it was there from our master, who says Atman is that which moves and thinks. Just thought which moves. Whereas Brahman is the one which grows and thinks. The thinking is common for both. Consciousness is common for both. One knocks around, other one grows. I think you people understand the difference between a movement and a growth. Our present consciousness is restricted to just movement. We knock around. We don't have any clarity. When it moves onto the higher plane, and when it really grows into the level of a Brahman, starts growing in your consciousness, then you are encompassing the whole universe. But when does it happen? Only when you get rid of your feeling of the body, that you are restricted to your body. When so long as this illusion of the body, that is the self, is there, you will not be growing. Sadhana enables you to feel the growth in you, and you start seeing the entire world as yours. You become first a Mahatma. You go on to higher level. Then you also go to the level of a Vishwatma. And after this, you get into a Paramatma condition. These are all the various stages in which you feel you start vibrating to things which are outside. As on date, modern man is condemned to thinking about himself. He is bothered about himself. He has isolated himself so much that he does not feel for somebody else. The natural warmth and love that we should have for anybody suffering is missing today. Some person who is dead, some person who was very old and weak was able to make the Siddhartha become a Buddha. He vibrated to the problems of somebody else. He started feeling for somebody else's suffering. Today we condemned ourselves. We got ourselves condemned to a condition of bothering about ourselves. We do not think anything other than this. That is mainly because the consciousness is restricted to your body. This consciousness which is restricted to your body is really a consciousness that is pervading the entire universe. We are one with the universe. That is our destiny. The destiny used to become a Purushottama, but today we are condemned Jivas. This is the position. But what do you note in the diaries? So you start feeling that I seem to be something which is beyond. I seem to be expanding. I do not feel the presence of myself in the body. I don't feel the body consciousness. It has become so light. I seem to have crossed the borders or boundaries of my existence. This is one of the experiences you get. Any person who is doing sadhana properly will get this experience. If you don't note this, you will be missing an enormous point. When you become light, when you become something you feel like growing, you have got to know that you have grown to the level of a Brahman. However limited it is, you may not be the total Brahman, but you have moved on. The individual existence is capable of merging itself to the higher consciousness. This has to be noted. If you have not made a habit of writing from the beginning, you will not be in a position to note it when it comes. This is my point to you, because diary helps you to become sensitive. When you start noting down, this is what I have done, this is what I have done, this is what I have done, this I ought not to have done, this I think I should do more. If this is the way in which you write about your sadhana, it becomes easy for you later to recognize the influx of the divine which actually pulls you out of your consciousness. If you don't learn your alphabets properly, I am sure you are not going to understand any literature. So also, if you do not know how to write diary, if you don't start writing diaries, the chances are that you will miss the finer aspects of your sadhana. Why should I at all know? What is the need for me to know? You may ask me this question, what is the need for me to know? After all, I will be what I am. Even without writing the diary, I will be that. Then why should I? As I told you in the beginning, you will be in a position to rectify your mistakes. You will be in a position to strengthen your efforts. You will feel certain times, as I personally gone through, and many of my associates have said it, certain times you got a deep inclination for meditation. Certain times you do not have any inclination at all. You don't want to do it. Those of you who have been studying literature or playing games know that certain times alone you feel like playing. Certain times, no, today I would like to take off, I don't go. A rigorous training that we have got, we try to immediately after some time say, no, I think I'll leave it off, then I will do something else. The necessity for perseverance is there, and it can be accomplished only through diary. Because you can point out your own lapses to yourself. And only when you are very confident about somebody else with whom you can share your diary, you will be in a position to share it with him. Take further assistance from him. There are many things that you will not be in a position to say openly. Your defects are such you will not be in a position to tell anybody. But you have one friend, God, to whom you can tell. It is much better to put it in writing, this is what I have told him. That enables you further when you see it, this is the thing that I should get rid of. You will make a determination to get rid of that. It can be the type of desires can be of various types, which really obstruct your sadhana. But if you make a note of it, you try to come out of it. The diary tells you this. Now, I talked about the goal, and I also said that we are not very clear about it. As far as the levels of human life, we are not living at that level. Now, what is it that we should do? Then we say immediately, the prayer says that since we are not able to live at the level of the human being, we say, I am yet but a slave of my wishes, putting a bar to my advancement. We say this very, very clearly. It is your own obstructions, my wishes. Which are those wishes that are standing against you? Diary helps you to analyze it better. Few minutes you take to record will tell you better which are the wishes that are standing against you and what you should do to get rid of it. Determination alone gets rid of these things. It is a sankalpa that is. Now this is where this particular system, the value of this system is there. Traditionally, when people said that wishes are there and you have got to control it, there are so many drives that are there to be controlled. What they said was, you do this japa, you do this tapa, you do this ritual, you go on fasting, all these things were given. Why? So that they develop your will, your sankalpa bala. It increases your willpower. If you can be without food for 24 hours, that means you have been able to control your urge to eat. It's a drive. Food is a drive. It drives you to action, and you are able to control. Animals will not be in a position to do that. Animals don't have a capacity to control drive. When it feels hungry, it will definitely do something to get it food. It doesn't matter much. It will not bother about the rights or wrongs. All these things are not there in animal. Whereas here, we have taken a decision to control ourselves from eating. Why? So that it develops the willpower, not that it pleases God. Of course, it should be pleasing God when you develop your willpower. So this development of the willpower is something that was stressed most. Whether it is tapasarya, or it is japa, or it is upavasa, or any other ritual connected with it, these are all connected only with this particular aspect of development. How is it being done? You are there, you have determined yourself to reach the goal, and the master's support is there through Pranahuti. There will be another talk on this. Now, the need for this type of support may not be felt every day. But you feel after some time that you seem to have got stuck up. If you see your diaries, you seem to have got stuck up somewhere. Then you require the support. As on date, there is no other system in which you get this support. Here there are at least some other person who is going to assist you in solving this particular bottleneck that you feel. How is it being done? What is sadhana? Diverting our attention from ourselves towards God is sadhana. So this particular thing is what he also exercises his will, and then both of us will be in a position to work better. You understand? Now, have you found the need for it? To go to a person, I think it is time for me to go to a person to take assistance. How will you know this? Otherwise, it becomes a ritual. You may be going to a person every week, once in a week, or twice in a week, or once in a month. If you are nearby, every day. If you are far off, once in a year. That is not the way to do sadhana. Sadhana is to be done in a very, very conscious way. We have got to make a note of what are all the feelings we have got, where we require the support of somebody else. Only then we have to go. Now, this support is not necessarily to be sought every day from somebody else. The support of Pranahuti is there with you from the master all the time, once you are connected. It is there, but still, an extra attention may be required, and then you seek the help of the person. To know the need for whether you got stuck up somewhere or not, there is a must. The same thought comes to you again and again. Same thought. Maybe even the thought that the master is the savior of all. Right, this thought. If you go on getting only this thought forever, that means you got stuck up somewhere. The reason for that is, if you start a journey from Hyderabad to Delhi, if you see the same scene again and again, that means your train has stopped. It is not moving. Similarly, in your consciousness, if you get the same thought again and again, it is a master always. But master as what? Master as a person who clears you of your doubts. The master as a person who is going to help you in your promotion. Master as a person who is going to help you in the marriage of your daughter or brother. Master as a person who is the savior of your soul. Master as a person who is my beloved. Master, I do not know, nor I know myself, is a condition. These are all the conditions, various conditions you come across. Final conditions are you really do not know what you are. You really do not know what God is. By definition, He is unknowable. And by having almost a sayujya with Him, you also become unknowable. So both of you become unknowable, the whole thing appears to be a meaningless exercise that we seem done. But that's a long way off. That has nothing to do with the diary. Now what happens is, these initial stages, we get stuck up. We get stuck up. And to know that you are stuck up, you require a diary to note it. Otherwise, I have got a standing way of looking at things, that if you ask any person, how was your meditation or how was your studies, let us not bother about meditation, let us talk about how was your office. He will say, fine. What did you do? Nothing. What do you propose to do? I don't know. These are the standard answers we have got for any question. That is the level to which the modern mind has sunk. For any question, how is it? Intlo ela undi? Fine. Even Visheshalu undaya? Nothing. There may be a delivery at home, there may be a death at home, there may be a marriage proposal, anything for that matter. This fellow's answer is standard answer, nothing. What are you proposing to do? I don't know. The same is the position of your meditation also. How was the meditation? I have got so many abhyasis, I have got so many associates with whom I ask this question. They always say to me, fine. Then what did you feel? Nothing. What do you propose to do? I don't know. It is for you to tell me. These are the standard answers we got for all questions. The three answers that modern man has got for any question in this world is this. Such a thing will not happen if you write diary. You will definitely say what is right with you or what is wrong with you. You will definitely say that I require assistance from somebody, I am going there, I am going to improve my meditation on point A or point B, or I will attend to my cleaning much more seriously, or my mind is not staying properly, therefore I will do a Trimukha Japa. You will say certain things. When you do and when you note, when you do and do not note, those are the standard answers. Note, then this leaves you the progress. Don't note, you have got the same three answers at any point of time. At any point of time you can see. So the advantage of writing diary is this, you get to know. And during meditation you have placed yourself in a state of passiveness. Passiveness. You are asked to meditate on the divine light and not to do anything further. Ignore the thoughts that come to you. Right? That is what you were told. But you did not succeed in that. Many thoughts disturbed you. If you don't recollect these thoughts, you are happy. You are not supposed to recollect also. Even without any effort to recollect, there are certain thoughts that come to you. After the meditation is over, you get to know these are all the thoughts that were there. To use the word disturbing is not correct. They were there. They did not disturb your meditation, but they were there. And you make a note of it. What are the thoughts that come to you generally? If you are very serious, what are the thoughts that come to you generally? A master, yes, you get a master. That he is assisting you. Certain times you got a feeling. Certain times you got a feeling that he is not assisting you. However much I pray, nothing seems to be happening in this world. The problem of so and so is not solved. My son is not getting employed. My daughter is not getting married. My sister has become a burden. God is not giving any relief for me. These are all the thoughts that come to you. Let us face the situation. And as you advance in sadhana, what happens is these things fade out. You don't have to make any extra effort. Who removes it? He removes it. How does he remove it? By cleaning you. When purity is entering into you every second, during your meditation at least, it will purify your inner consciousness. It will resemble the one of the divine. We are not asking you to become number. Nobody asks you. Any serious Raja Yogi will not ask you to become number. We would like you to be active, always acting in the present. Kindly note, the point is that all our problems are either memories of the past or reflections about the future. If you live in the present, your meditation will be perfect. But we tend to live either in the past, worrying about, had I done that, I would have been better. I could have done it still more better like that. Perhaps this thing need not have been given to me. God unnecessarily punished me like this. In these type of things, which are things that have happened to you already. Or you start thinking about, I am going to become like this, I am going to become Brahmajnani, I am going to become somebody who is a Karma Yogi. This type of things. Either this or that. Nobody lives in the present. Your task is to live in the present. You are asked to meditate in the present, and your thoughts relate to either the past or the future. If it is on the present, your meditation will be perfect, because you will do your job only. You will not do anything else. So this habit of wandering of the mind has to come down. So you can see the impact, how it is coming down. Over a period of time in your sadhana, it will reflect. And when you come to a stage of saying that, yes, everything is according to its importance, has found a place in my life, and you say that the goal is reached. When is the goal reached? When you see a God with 4 hands and 1,000 feet. No, such a God doesn't exist. The God that is in you is simple, straight, is love. So when it comes to it, then you will see the importance of the commandments that are there. When can you say that you have reached your perfection in sadhana is reflected in the commandment number 9, where you will see that mold your life in such a way that you become a devotee, in such a way that others start thinking about God. Here is one person who is living in God, by God, for God, and therefore I should also become like that. You should become an example. You have got to mold your life in such a way that other people tend to think about God. They develop love towards God. This is possible only when the self is brought almost to a zero, and you, the Atman, has to get himself merged in the Brahman. You don't exist, it is Brahman alone in action. Now, is that an ideal situation of sitting in some corner, not bothered about the welfare of others? Surely not. The goal is to mold others. You have to mold in such a way that others get this. So when will you be in a position to do this? When you know what is real and also be prepared to serve others for that. Then you can say that you have reached somewhere near divinity. From the level of man, which I told you related to Satya, Ahimsa, etc., you have to move up to the level of service to others without any interest, without selfishness, with certain amount of sacrifice. That is all divinity about. Move on towards the divinity and further on towards nothingness. So if you were to gauge yourself with various parameters that are given there, eat in a constant thought of the divine, whatever is coming to you, without grumbling, without feeling bad about it. Whatever is given, we accept it as a blessing of the divine, as what God has given. Treat all people as your brothers. Have you been able to or not? You will be in a better position to write in your diary. You can see in your diary whether you are able to come up to these expectations. There are various things. We start with the routine thing of getting up in the morning, ending up with the prayer. About the prayer, I will say a few words. When you go to bed, we are asked to pray. And this is one casualty I have found amongst all people who say that they pray. Because at the end of the day you are tired, you have no time, you would like to lie down. And those are the people who pray at that time are people who really don't get sleep because of various problems that they have got. If you get sleep and it is late in the evening, I am 10% sure no person prays. It's my experience, and there is a lot of difficulty in praying. Prayer is not all that simple. Prayer demands a will on your part to say that you do not know, you are humble, and nobody accepts it. Particularly in the modern world, where egoism has been stressed beyond measure, self has been stressed beyond measure, you will not yield to the divine also. So it ends up, if those are the good abhyasis we have got, it ends up with a ritual of the telling twice or thrice the prayer and then turn off yourself to the bed. It is never that prayer of humility, trying to place before the divine that I have done my best, these are all the following mistakes, I wish that I come out of it. I am unable to get out of it. I am a slave of my wishes, putting a bar to my advancement. I am not able to come out of this. Only you can help me. And in the suppliant mood, if you sleep, the whole night becomes prayer. If you get into the prayerful mood and then go to bed, the whole night is prayer. But I don't know when the night starts nowadays. I get confused most often. Because somebody says it is at 7 o'clock, somebody says it's at 9, somebody says it's at 2. I really don't know when. One thing that modern man has been able to do is really annul whatever is a natural order. We really don't know. I don't think it will be possible for me to tell my granddaughter when the day ends and when the night starts. Your nights are flooded with lights. You really do not say that. How to say that? It is dark. It is not dark. She finds a big question mark. Why the darkness? Night means dark, daytime means bright. This is what we were told. No, that is not so today. And night, they say every bird gets back. And even now, I think, in spite of the lights, they get back to the trees. I see them coming back to the nest. But then we don't come back. They have got an instinctual way of getting back. But we lost that. We never had instinct. And intelligence we lost. People think that they have become more intelligent. They have lost intelligence. Intelligence means discrimination. You should know when to take rest. We have not learned to take rest. We are keeping alive all the time, kicking around with enormous activity, which makes no sense. I had recently a call from some abhyasi saying that I am not able to find time for prayer at all. I asked him, do you meditate? No. Do you clean? No. Do you pray? No. Why? I am tired. Then I don't know why we are living up. If you can't be comfortable, if you can't be happy, and you can be happy only in the company of the divinity, I tell you this, you can never be happy otherwise. In the company of anybody else, you are alien. You are somebody other than him. You and me, suppose we try to live together, still I will feel certain amount of a screen that is there, which puts me saying that you are different from me. This one screen does not exist between God and you, because He is always with you. Even when you are not mindful for Him, your friend, perhaps you give him some now and then a coffee, now and then some tiffin, now and then some food, some company of talking and all that. You give some importance to your friend, outside friend. But the inside friend is ignored. And even then he keeps company. He is such a fast friend. Even when you ignore him totally, he remembers you. He is always with you. And modern man has ruined this particular opportunity further by all the time being busy, either seeing a TV or reading a paper or hearing a music, or go on, your activities, your work, your study, whatever it is. And then you should be dead tired that you have no time for God, and then you think about sleep. Whereas prayer demands that you earmark some time for Him and then say, this is the time for God. I am going to place myself with my friend, and my friend who loves me so much, who is always with me, I am going to tell what are my difficulties. What are the things that were standing against my achieving my goal? Why is it I am not able to perform at my best? Yoga, any yoga for that matter, should give you the capacity to function at your best in whatever thing that you do. And when you are exhausted, your performance is definitely poor. But still we still run. Performance is at its best when it is done within certain limits. There are limits, physiological limits, there are psychological limits, and you don't have to pull yourself to the situation of a stress or a strain. No, there's no necessity for it. But then we do all that. Then at least you say to Divinity, I'm helpless, I'm doing like this, please save me. At least this much you can find some time before going to bed, and you pray to Master, saying that you alone can save me. If you want to see the various hues and colors by which your sadhana goes, the diary alone helps you for that. There's no other way. You have to maintain, because you know your mind much better than anybody else. You know your habits much better than anybody else. Which habits are impeding your progress? Which habits are helping you in your progress? As they put it, anukulyasya sankalpam pratikulyasya varjanam. Whatever is anukula, we have got to accept it. Whatever is the pratikula, we should leave it. These are the two methods by which we achieve our objective, in any field for that matter. You in study or in play, you have got clarity, which helps you in achieving, which helps you in impeding. And here it's a question of yourself evaluating it. So the parameters are given. You can use, I was once suggesting a method of evaluating yourself in a 5-point scale or a 7-point scale against each one of these. Been able to sit for 1 hour, evaluate yourself. There are many people who say to me, sir, I am not able to meditate for 1 hour, my legs ache. And I used to tell very honestly, I used to confess my position in the early days of my practice to Master, saying that first half an hour, the mind does not cooperate. The second half an hour, the body does not cooperate. How can I do sadhana, I used to ask. This situation is there. It was there. Today I am able to sit for hours together and talk about it in his memory, talking about his system. How? How has it come about? By sadhana. If you get up, but that's why he said immediately to me, then put an alarm for 1 hour, don't get up. Only when the alarm rings, you get up. Till the time, don't get up. Make a determination to sit down. The body will obey you. There are so many methods each man can. Some advanced people, they can put the internal clock to work, saying that I am going to get up only after 1 hour, and it will remind you after 1 hour. There is a clock inside. It ticks more regularly than our mechanical clocks. So various aspects of this. So when you eat, you should think about the divine. How often have you been thinking about it? The taste of the food is such that you don't have to think about the divine. Many times it happens. And then the taste of it, you know in advance that it's not going to be good, and then you would like to throw it out. You don't accept it as what Divinity has given you. Divinity alone has given you that. You don't want to accept it. These failings are there with you, with me, with every one of us. These failings are bound to be there with all of us. How much of the discipline that is required is achieved by us. If you want to know this, the diary alone is the way. There is no other way by which you can know this. These things will just otherwise be brushed aside by you. I don't know whether I made myself clear trying to tell you the various practical aspects of writing, diary writing. If any questions, please ask me. 1:30 food is ready.